I discovered a whole bin of brand new books that I forgot I even purchased. In the video I made with my 2021 goals, I listed organizing my office. I say office because it became a drop zone in the last year, into our personal library. I've been working on that, and that is how I discovered this bin of books that I forgot I even had. Now, if you're wondering how someone could forget that they purchased these books, let me quickly tell you about my BookTube and book outlet journey for 2020. I discovered BookTube last February, and I binge watched tons of videos over a couple months, and I discovered Book Outlet through those other BookTubers. And if you don't know what Book Outlet is, I left a link below. Definitely check them out. Their prices are amazing. It's very exciting for book lovers. And if you order for the first time with that code, you will receive $10 off your order, and I will receive a $10 reward for referring somebody. So not only did I get excited about BookTube and reading a lot of fiction for the first time, after many years of reading nonfiction, I was getting excited about the prices that I was seeing at Book Outlet. Let's put it this way. I ordered more books in 2021 than I have ordered and bought my entire life. So many books, in fact, I didn't have enough shelves to put them on. Hence why they ended up in a container. We bought bookshelves for Christmas from IKEA. We bought 2, ended up having to buy a 3rd. One of those is full of middle grade books. And I still probably need more room. But I mentioned the middle grade books because that is what I'm going to feature in this video. I pulled out all the middle grade because there's a huge stack of those in and of themselves. And without further ado, I'll show you what those are. First, I'm going to show you books from 3 different series, all by the same author, and that is Lisa Mcmahon. The first book is from the Unwanted series, and there's 7 books in that series. This is the 7th one, and this is called The Unwanted Island of Dragons. Now, I have more of these upstairs. I'm not sure if I know I don't have the complete set. I'm going to do a video of all the middle grade books that I have, the series that I need to finish. And really, this is a result of buying odd numbered ones from Book Outlet because I didn't want to pass up the deal, but I need to finish off quite a few series. Okay, the Unwanted series is a dystopia fantasy book, and in the first book we meet 2 twins, Alex and Aaron, and in this world, when they become teenagers, they are separated into unwanted, into necessary people, and unwanted. Now the unwanted are taken and trained to be military. The necessary people work on the farm, and the unwanted go to the death farm. And this is the first time in the history of this world that twins have been separated. But Aaron ends up staying with the wanted, and Alex goes to the unwanted, which is the death farm. And he discovers there that the death farm is actually a magical place. And something happens where these worlds really are going to be torn apart, and the twins end up battling on opposite sides. And that's in the first book. Again, that's the Unwanted series. After those 7 books, the next series continues in this world, and Aaron and Alex's young twin sisters are in the next series. And this series takes place 10 years after the twins save the world in the Unwanted series. And this is called, did I say this? The Unwanted Quests. And again, there's 7 books in this series. So I have the Unwanted Quests, Dragon Bones, Unwanted Quest, Dragon Ghosts, and the last one is Dragon's Curse. Really are gorgeous covers, though. Yeah. Oh, okay, yes, they list them all in the back. There you go. The 3rd series by Lisa Mcmahon I'm going to show you is called, oh my goodness, I forget. Oh, I have a note. Going Wild. And there's 3 books in that series, and I have the 3 books here. Oh, look, they are numbered. 1, 2, 3. Now, here's the other thing with Book Outlet. Sometimes you can get the hard copy for a good deal. Sometimes you get the soft copy. And you really have to decide what it is that you can live with in your collection. I prefer to have all hardcover or all softcover, but we'll see how much we like this series and what we decide to do with it at a later date. But this is book 1, Going Wild. Then we have Predator versus Prey. And the third one is Clash of Beasts. In the first book, we meet Child Wild, who moves to Arizona, thinks she's going to be bored. She ends up putting on a bracelet, which gives her cheetah strength, cheetah speed, and all these abilities that she actually can't control. She thinks it would be great if she could only control them. So she has to learn to trust and rely on her friends to help teach her how to use these abilities. I've started to collect the Rick Riordan series, a few of them, but this particular one is called The Sword of Summer, and it is from the Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard series. I think these covers are absolutely gorgeous. Like, they look so pretty on a bookshelf. That's not the only reason I bought them, but I think it might be one of them. Next, we have The Stolen Crown, and this is from the League of Archers, and this is by Eva Howard, and there's 2 books in this series so far. I'm actually not sure if they're making more, but I have the other one upstairs for sure. I remember this because I was so excited to get a middle grade series that had really strong female characters, especially where I'm raising a daughter. I think that's really important. This is the second book. In the first book, we meet Ellie, who is chumming around with a bunch of friends who are behaving like Robin Hood. They're copying him. They're stealing from a really rich man and giving what they steal to poor neighbors. And one night she's coming back from one of these adventures and she ends up finding a man who was hit by an arrow, and she takes him back. He ends up dying, but it was Robin Hood, in fact, and she gets blamed for his murder. Now, in this particular book, Ellie and her friend save Maid Marian. It sounds like a lovely adventure for girls. I will let you know how it goes when we finally read it. Continuing on with the fantasy trend is a really old series. This is from the first book was actually published in 1964. And this is The Chronicles of Pyrrhidon. And this is by Lloyd Alexander. And there's 6 books there are 5 books in this series. Originally there was going to be 3, but they were so popular the publisher asked the author to write a couple more. In the first book we meet Taryn, who is a pig keeper assistant who dreams of doing heroic deeds. And that's how it starts. This is considered a classic. Millions of people have read these books. I definitely, since I've got into fantasy, thought I would love to try this one and see how it compares to today's books. And as you notice, this is a complete series. I've got a few series now from Book Outlet, and the next set I'll show you is another series, complete box set that I bought from Book Outlet as well. And by the way, I am not affiliated with Book Outlet in any way. This is not a sponsored video, but their prices are very exciting. I purchased the Little Women series. Now, the books are hardcover. The deal was amazing for hardcover books. This is a bit beat up, but really, I get annoyed with these and end up throwing them away most of the time anyways. But we have the whole Little Women series, and of course, this is by Louisa May Alcott. I didn't know there was a series. I didn't know there were books following the original Little Women until last year. So we have Little Women, then we have Good Wives, Little Men, Joe's Boys. And I'm going to show you the books quickly. I thought they were quite lovely when you took the covers off. So these are the book covers. Which are quite lovely. I've seen so many, but I thought this was a really nice one. I'm going to take the cover off and show you. Isn't that gorgeous? I thought that was so pretty. You can always get me with red or gold foil. But I think the red on white is particularly gorgeous. For those of you like myself that didn't know, we're all familiar with the Little Women. In the next book, The Good Wives, this book focuses on the 3 sisters when they're married and their adult life. Then we have The Little Men, which focuses on all the boys in the school that Jo March and her new husband started at the end of the first Little Women book. So this is about the boys in that school. And then finally, the last book is about the boys that went through that school when they're grown up. Next, I have 2 books. And this is from the Rose Legacy series, and this is by Jessica Day George. There are 3 primary works in this series. I have 2 here, so we need the final book. We have The Rose Legacy, and then we have The Queen's Secret. In the first book, we meet orphaned Anthea, who ends up being sent to her uncle's, and she thinks, oh, she's finally found a place where she's going to belong and with people that love her. And there she discovers a secret. Her uncle has been breeding horses, and that has been outlawed for centuries. It turns out that Anthea can sense and understand what these horses are thinking and feeling. It's a gift called the Way. And she thinks she's going to leave until she meets a horse named Florian, who she met and has been waiting for her since childhood. She met the horse in childhood and the horse was still waiting for her. And this is the beginning of many adventures. These books were mentioned. If you watch Beautiful Minutia, she's a new booktuber. She mentioned the series as well. She said her 8-year-old daughter loved these books. So I'm really excited to see what my 7-year-old thinks of them. This next series, I have never heard anybody on BookTube talk about. However, these are all by Cindy Callahan. And the reason that I wanted to purchase these books was because I thought it would be great to read a fiction book that would hopefully give us some new insight into different cities around the world. So I have Lost in London, Lost in Paris, and these, by the way, are about all different girls. It's not the same girl in every book. And we have Lost in Rome, Lost in Ireland. Well, that would have been a good one for St. Patrick's Day. Maybe I'll showcase that in next year's St. Patrick's Day book recommendations. And we have Lost in Hollywood. Next, I have one of the books from the Winter House series, and this is by Ben Gutterson. And I think this is book 2. Or maybe book 3. I do know that I now have book 2 and 3, and I'm missing book 1. And unfortunately, I did see that on Book Outlet at one point. However, it was watching other people's videos where they talked about middle grade books, and there's been so many. For example, Chantal at An Intentional Life spoke about these books. And I do believe there's been a couple of women that have spoke about this on BookTube. And they got me really excited to read this series. So, of course, the next time I saw these books come around on Book Outlet, I grabbed them. It might be challenging to find the first one in a hardcover at a price that I'm willing to pay. However, you never know. Another series for that video I mentioned making. Okay. The last 2 books I'm going to quickly show you are standalones. This one is called Annie's Life in Lists, and I was excited to see this. Oh yeah, it's by, Kristen Mahoney. And the reason that I found this interesting was because, number one, it's different. It's telling her story all through the list that she makes. That's how they're telling the story. And at the time, my daughter was making a lot of lists for her to do every day and evening. So I thought that this would be a fun read for her. Yeah, I just think this is a fun concept. It's a year in the life of a 4th grader. I look forward to reading this one along with my daughter for sure. And the last one, oh, this cover is so gorgeous. This is called The Hotel Between. And this is by Sean Easley. Beyond these doors, the world of your dreams. A magical web of floors lies lost in the seams. Once invited, you must take care, lest you vanish between the here and there. Welcome to the Hotel Between. And this is about twins again. There's a lot of twins in books. I guess that we could call that a twin trope. And this is about twins Camera and Cassia, and they've never known their parents. They were told that her mother died and that her father had abandoned them. But Cam isn't so sure, and she wants to prove her wrong. And this is about them discovering the truth about their parents. It sounds like a really whimsical, magical read. I think this one I'm going to put farther up on my to-be read list for sure. It just looks amazing. I can't believe I forgot I had it. Okay, that is all the books I wanted to show you. Like I said, I'll do another book haul to show you the rest of the books. There's some adult ones and some really cool ones for kids that I would love to share. They're magical and beautiful. If there are any middle grade books that you have fallen in love with lately, please let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please make sure to hit like and hit the subscribe button and the little bell to be notified when I upload more videos. And I will see you soon with another bookish video.